Hi, welcome to Wassell Woodworking. In today's episode we're going to be looking at my CNC machine I built a few years ago. We're going to be talking about all of its features, how it was built, and how you can build one as well. The CNC machine itself is built on a torsion box that it's 4 inches thick with made of 5/8 inch particle board. It's actually sandwiched in between a piece of 5/8 on the bottom and on the top, and the overall dimensions of it are 27 inches by right around 6 feet. And the reason for this size is so I could put a full sheet of 2x4 plywood on and cut that for projects. All the rest of the support mechanism, and well, one thing you'll notice here is that my workshop is getting pretty congested and there's not enough room, so the only place to go is up. So what I've done is I've built legs for it that are supporting on top of my work table where I have my planer. I also have a lay jig on the other side, as well as storage, including a drawer underneath for bits and paperwork and records. All that's made with nice plywood that I bought from your standard big box stores. The CNC machine itself is made of stuff that anyone can actually construct if you're good with woodworking. But it basically has tracks made of 3/4 inch aluminum up on end, and that works for the x-axis and the z-axis, as you can see right here. The y-axis is actually made on some linear rails I bought on eBay relatively inexpensively, and they do a very, very good job at holding it. The drive mechanisms, the stepper motors are connected up to a chain, and that runs the full length, and that chain is what actually drives it. There's a chain on the X and on the on the X-axis and on the Y-axis. On the Z-axis we use a screw drive with multiple starts with the stepper motor mounted on the top. That actually works rather well. As you can see, it spins and get good accuracy from that. The X and Y, they all work off the chain that you see here and that you see here. On the board itself, you'll see lots of little threaded holes that have been put in. I actually use a router to actually drill those, and then I put these inserts in so that I can very easily modify the hold down clamps just using 1/4 inch 20 thread bolts in any configuration I want. I typically use this area though, it works out rather well. The router itself is a Bosch 1617 router. I have, you see underneath here, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/8 inch collets, and I can easily change out whatever necessary for changing the size of the bits, although typically you're using 1/4 inch and 1/8 inch bits. 1/2 inch bits, just don't usually need to use them all that much, although I do use them. And in fact I have bits in here, V-carb bits and such. One of the other things on the CNC machine you have to do in order to prevent it from running into things is actually have limit switches. On my machine here, I have limit switches here set up on the Y-axis, and I also have limit switches on the other side for the X-axis. The Z-axis, to prevent it from going up too high, is actually this clear board here, so that if I raise it up, it'll automatically cut itself off like it just did. I'll have to reset it in order to lower it back down. For dust collection, as you can see here, I have a shroud that I made out of plywood and clear carpet protection mat that I got from Home Depot. And it goes on, and there are screws in here that attach to magnets up inside that allow it to, you just hold it on there and it snaps in place. It does great. The dust collection, you can see here, is a 2-inch hose sliding over some PVC. And that actually runs up and onto the ceiling, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. The router itself can be taken apart or taken out by these thumb screws, and it can just slide out. The dust collection system runs up into a arm that you can see up top, and as I run the router back and forth, you can see how it will track with it. You can see how it will track with this when I bring it all the way forward, as I'll demonstrate now. That's been very helpful because this puts out a lot of dust. And between the shroud and the dust collection, it keeps things a lot nicer here in the shop. Because of the elevation of the CNC, it tends to spray out a lot to the side, and that prevents that from occurring. The controls for the CNC machine are located up here in this cabinet, which I'll open up so you don't have the glare on it. In the top, you have the power supply for the unit, and you have 3 controllers for the stepper motors. Also in here you have the breakout board for the parallel port cable that actually connects back to the computer. In here also I have a fan to push air through, as well as some blue lighting in here, and a relay in this location, although the relay, I don't use that one anymore. I have one located down on the actual machine itself, so that when I start the programming up, it'll turn on the CNC router automatically. This is usually plugged in, makes a bit of noise, which is why I've left it off. Has some blue light, which makes it look interesting. So this is the Dell desktop that I'm using right now. This is an old one that I got from a discount store. It has a Dell computer running XP, and it only has the program that I need to run on, which is Mach 3. Mach 3 is what many hobbyists use for running their CNC equipment. It can actually be used not just for hobbyists, but for corporations as well. Mach 4 is out now, but I'm using Mach 3 and I'll continue to do so. It does really great. It runs thousands of lines. It's my flat screen. Obviously got keyboard and mouse that I have here as well, and then all the cables come out the back up into this, and the cables go out to go back to the CNC machine. All of this has just been made with scrap plywood. Up here I painted a nice green. Down here I've never done that because it really just doesn't matter. I'd rather spend the time on the products I'm making and not on the equipment in my shop itself. So thanks for watching today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up in the comments below. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Please put your comments, and I'll be happy to show you other parts of the CNC machine if you'd like to see that. Thanks for watching.